Just can you talk about how you found out you were going to start, when you found out you were going to start, and just kind of your first career start experience?
So this week I was told on Friday, and the team had a really good. We did really well this week, and after our great Friday practice, I was told that I was gonna play, and I was really excited, especially because I got 45 minutes last year, but nothing could be as exciting as playing a full game and getting a shutout after. But yeah, found out on Friday.
I had a question. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened at the end of the half? There was a little confusion in what the ref was doing. I think he seemed to indicate that you got the card, but I think at the half they clarified that it was actually Kentucky.
No, so on that, when I came out with my hands, the girl dragged her foot and kicked me in the face. So the card was for her, but he was talking to me and saying he wanted me to slow down and make sure I was okay and wait till like everyone's reset. But yeah, the card wasn't on me.
Heather, were you at all nervous coming into your first career start?
I mean, there's always a little bit of nerves whenever you play, but I think I was more excited than nervous, especially going into the game. But then once you sit on the field, it's just like you've been doing this. Like I've been doing this since I was 4 years old, and I don't think I was as nervous because we practice so much and we do a lot of stuff where like they've had me in, and I wasn't like freaking out nervous, but I mean, you always have a little bit of nerves.
Heather, what about, the coaches talk about consistency this week with you and making the decision to put you in. What did you think the difference was this week in your preparation to be more consistent and kind of get the coaches to make that decision to put you in?
I think this week I really focused on my footwork and making sure that I'm clean for everything and taking a breath and not getting flustered if I'm not making every pass. Instead, this week I focused on, let's focus on what you can get better at and not focus on anything else, not focus on playtime, just focus on how can I get better. And I think I really, really focused on my feet this week, and that's really what helped me. We did a lot of extra training on my own with my feet, and I think that's something that really helped me this week.
Heather, can you kind of walk us through what was going through your mind on the penalty and then after it sailed high over the bar?
So as soon as she did the penalty, I went up to 6 and I tried to get in her head a little bit because that's what goalkeepers try and do, is get in the striker's head a little bit. And as I was dropping back, she looked over to my right, and I was thinking she was either going to go middle or right. So I went really hard on the right. I think I got in her head by pointing over to the right a little bit. But when it went over, I was relieved because I thought that, our team really deserved this win. And it would have been really sad if they would have gotten a cheap PK.
What did you think about the communication between you and the defenders? Because since this is your first start, I'm sure it was kind of new for everybody, kind of trying to get used to that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of practice, we work on that. We work on a lot of playing out of the back with our feet and with just offense coming up against the defense a lot. And I think I was loud. I think I did a really good job of demanding the back line. And since we've worked with each other, it's not like I've never worked with them before. So I think we were still pretty comfortable. And they also were talking to me as well, telling me what they needed from me. And I think with having Anna up there and constantly telling me what she wants out of me was really helpful, because she's always been really helpful to telling me what I need to do and get better at.
Heather, what about obviously not having Hallie today, for somebody like you who's making your first start and you don't have the anticipated back line that you probably thought you would? What was it like, communicating with Sutton today, and obviously JY at the end kind of slotted back there? What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was different because, Sutton's normally on the outside. So I wasn't nervous because I knew Sutton could do a great job, but it was a little bit different. And I think Sutton did a great job of going into that spot last minute after Hallie's been out. I think JY has always kind of practiced there every once in a while just in case. So we've talked and practiced about what we need to do, and I think she did a really good job of covering it. And I think the defense overall did a really good job of communicating today and making sure that we were strong.
Heather, can you talk a little bit about, I mean, this team allowed just kind of 8 goals last year, allowed 2 in the first 2 games this year. How important was it, do you think, from a team perspective to get a clean sheet today?
Oh, I think we really needed a clean sheet today. I think the defense did a great job. I think everyone did a really good job to keep it out the net. Didn't get a ton of shots today, but I think we really needed this clean sheet because I know that we can keep clean sheets for the rest of this season. But I think today especially was really needed because going forward against Vanderbilt and Arkansas, we really need one clean sheet underneath our belt at least.
All right, anything else for Heather? And then we'll have Coach as well as Kat going forward here too. So, all right, thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
As she probably needs no introduction, this is Kat Berry. She scored the game-winning goal today. Brett, you guys can go ahead and start with some questions.
Hey, Kat, Brandon Alter, the Daily Gamecock. Were you kind of maybe a man on a mission today after not being named Freshman of the Week last week?
Yeah, I mean, it's never about the accolades to me. Honestly, at the end of the day, the most important thing is helping my team win. So that was kind of put in the rearview mirror, and the goal today was just to go out there and get another convincing win, hopefully, for our team and be able to keep pushing forward in the SEC. Obviously, the first week wasn't the start we were hoping for, so we have some work left to do to put ourselves in a good position for the SEC. So my goal today was really just to go out there, do whatever it took for our team to win, and just kind of contribute in any way that I could to that.
What was it like at halftime in the locker room with Coach Smith? It seemed like y'all went a little faster and started attacking even more in the second half. So I was wondering like what she said to y'all to motivate y'all to push even harder, even after you've been working for a long 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think halftime was huge for us today. It was a great opportunity just for us to get everyone back in together and get back on the same page. I think we knew that we could go at them and that we weren't playing to our full potential and doing all the things and executing the way that we had talked about. So I think it was massive for us to get in there, be able to talk about it and regroup, and then just kind of push forward and note that like we needed more from everyone, and just that whether that was a little bit more energy, going a little harder into a tackle, like finishing that chance we get, whatever it was, at the end of the day, like we just wanted to leave with no regrets. And that's something that we talk about, is not having any regrets at the end of the game, doing everything we think we could have done on that day to win the game. And I think that was the difference for us in the second half. I think we went out a lot more confident. We knew what we needed to do. We made some changes to our defense and our formation and our press, and we're able to execute and obviously get that crucial goal that we needed, and then hold on to win the game.
Yeah, what about, the goal kind of looked interesting because it almost looked like Anna had shot it and you kind of almost deflected it in front, but you kind of regathered it and then finished it off. Walk through that goal a little bit and kind of what happened in your eyes.
Yeah, so my job on the corner kicks is obviously to be in front of the goalie and just kind of to be a presence in and on the goal line, and obviously to get on the end of any knockdowns, anything that's put back across. And so I kind of was just screening the goalie coming across. I knew one of my other teammates was going to hopefully get on the end of it, and then if they knocked it down, like it was going to be my job to knock it in. And it kind of hit it across almost right at me, and then I just had to deal with it once it was knocked down, and obviously never the intention to get in the way of that, but she did a great job to knock it down, put it back in the mix, which is something we work on and talk about a lot on corners. And then I just had to, capitalize on that. Obviously, we didn't want to miss that chance, especially when she did such a good job to kind of get it back across and into where I was.
Kat, can you kind of talk a little bit about perhaps not getting that insurance marker there late? You guys seem were pushing, hit a couple of posts. You had that chance that went just high. Do you guys feel like you needed to get that second one? Obviously, with the result, it didn't matter, but just kind of talk about pushing to get that insurance marker.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's always nice to get that second goal. It lets you settle into the game a little bit more. And we had chances to do that, and obviously we hit the crossbar twice and had a couple shots saved and such. But I think at the end of the day, sometimes that's what you're dealt, and the chances didn't fall, and so we needed to defend, and we did our jobs and took care of business on the defensive end. And I give our defense a lot of credit today. I think kind of like you guys talked about with Heather, with different people stepping up in different roles and a different look back there in a game that was obviously close down to the end. They did a massive job to contribute and help us hold on strong. And I give them all a lot of credit for stepping up today. We had some new people back there, and they were huge for us.
Kat, could you tell us a little bit about the physicality during the game? I noticed, like, as the attack was pressing a little more in the second half, also the physicality was getting pretty intense. Can you tell me what was going through yours and your teammates' heads through it? I know Lauren got knocked over a few times.
Yeah. Obviously, we play in the SEC, which is a very physical conference. So we're used to having to, win those battles day in and day out when we're playing in this league. But today, definitely, as being as close to the game as it was, got a little chippier at the end, and it was pretty physical down to the end. But we just try to win our battles. Obviously, we're never trying to go out there and play dirty or anything like that. So we go hard, try to draw the fouls if we can going forwards to create dangerous opportunities. And then on the defensive end, like, be smart and just take care of it and win the ball back. And, at the end of the day, deal with what we have to. And when they kind of stepped up on us and got more physical, it's just part of the game. And we had to, adjust to it and look for different ways to get at them. And I think we did that today.
Kat, do you think, talk about the physicality, do you think going into it, obviously a lot of players, there's a lot of different sizes in soccer. Do you think that playing physically is more of a pride thing, or is it really just a matter on how strong you are physically?
Yeah, I think it can totally be either. And I think that kind of ties back to what we talked about at halftime. I think just talking about, like, having that pride to go in hard, win a tackle, win our battles out on the field, and, like, 50-50s, everything like that, our chances to score, going in hard to try to get shots on goal. I think that can totally be a pride thing. But also you have to have the physicality to back it up, and a lot of times in this league and just in the game situations. So we're lucky we have great strength coaches that get us strong, and then when we go out there, it's all about the pride and winning the battles and wanting to do it and being able to get stuck in and have the will to go out there and win and do it when it matters.
Obviously, tough week ahead, being at Vandy and at Arkansas. What do you guys need to do this week to come out with 6 points?
Yeah, obviously 2 really exciting games, and we're looking forward to going on the road and competing in those contests. And I think we just need to continue to work hard and learn from these games. Obviously, there are things today that weren't perfect, and a lot of stuff that we can continue to improve on. And we talk about every week that it has to be a little bit better than the last week. And so we need to, go back, get another hard week of practice in, get prepared, watch the film from this, make sure we're not making the same mistakes that we made today, and continue to grow and push to be better every week. And that's the goal at the end of the day, is to be better next weekend against Vandy than we were today. And I know we'll go back and work hard at practice this week and continue to push towards that.
All righty. Anything else for Kat? Otherwise, we'll bring in Shelley. So thanks, Kat. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Soon. Yeah, we can go ahead and open up with any questions for Coach.
Hey, Shelley, just kind of your overall thoughts on the match and getting the 3 points.
Obviously, we're thrilled to win another one at home. That's obviously an important thing we talk about all the time in this league. It's difficult on the road, and when we're at home, we really try to make sure we get the 3 points when we can. And I was proud of the team and their effort, and obviously happy with the result.
Coach Smith, from today with starting a new goalkeeper and having your freshman go out there again and score the winning goal, what was the biggest takeaway from today? And especially looking forward towards Vandy.
I think today I thought we honestly weren't our best in the first half. It was a bit frustrating. We did have some new players, but no excuses there. They're quality players that have had experience. And Kat being 3 games in, and she'll find the goal. That's why she's out there. I think that we just weren't connecting. Our work ethic is usually pretty good. I think we weren't giving a battle like we should. Really, I thought we improved in the second half because we were making better decisions. We were better on our passing, but our movement was much better. And if we didn't wait for things to happen. And then balls in the air, challenges, those things we were much better at. Also winning balls back, the little things that you need to do to put pressure on a team. And I thought they put things together much better on both sides of the ball in that second half. The first half was just not the best performance. And luckily we didn't really give up opportunities, but we just didn't have the ball a lot. And when we did have the ball, we turned it over, and it was a lot of running. So we just don't want to try to wear ourselves out so much if we don't have to. So it's something we're going to continue to improve on, especially as we go into next week on the road.
Shelley, I have a quick question about, you guys talk about adjustments at halftime, and in my time here that I've noticed personally, you guys make great adjustments at halftime just over the past couple of years. What do you guys do that really makes the difference as coaches that help your players adjust in the second half?
Well, I think today, Jamie actually did a great job to kind of give him a little kick at halftime that he can do well, where, the fight had to be there. And I think he's good at kind of getting that out of them, getting out pushing them to be better. We have to be better with the soccer piece that we're doing and our passing, and talking about possession and not giving the ball away so much. And that's something that is pretty simple and obvious, but that was probably our biggest problem in that first half. But along with that, you've got to compete, and sometimes that's missing. And I think the team turned it around and did a great job in that second half. So just the competition piece had to change, and I credit Jamie for really kind of getting on him at halftime for that. And then just adjusting a little bit of how teams might be coming out against us or finding success, and we have to change a little bit what we're looking for against them. And I thought our players did a good job to read the game a bit better in that second half, to be able to pick off passes, things that were hurting us a little bit in the first half. I thought we did a better job in that second half to get pressure to the players that were making plays, and making it a little bit more difficult for them in that end of the game.
Hey, Shelley, you mentioned a little bit, but can you talk a little bit more about the starting lineup changes?
Well, I mean, Heather and Taylor have been battling. I mean, they both deserve to play. You play one. We aren't normally going to switch a goalkeeper, and as far as in a game, so we want to give them both chances. And Heather's been training well. Taylor was doing well, so it's kind of getting experience where we can, and they're both young and needing game experience. And I was glad to see both of them have a chance so far this season. And it is a competition. It's a battle. It's going to make both of them better. So that's what we'll be doing each week. And as they get ready for next weekend, we'll make a decision again. And as far as Sutton, Hallie's been injured, so Sutton came in and did a great role, and she's obviously been a starter for us in the past and played mainly out wide, but we played her in the middle at times, and I thought she did a great job stepping in today. We weren't sure how long that was going to last, and she played an entire game pretty much, and that was I think we did we keep her in the whole time? Sutton, yeah. So we never moved her out. I know we had moved JY back a little bit at the end just to give us an extra cover, but Sutton did an amazing job to be able to compete and give us that option in the back that we need, especially now that Hallie's out for a little bit. I think Claire's the other change that we made. And again, you have a competition. Sam Chang did a great job starting us off the last two games. Claire in practice has been excellent and deserved a chance to start us off as well. I think given us a little different look at times and what we're going to face, and those are decisions that we make. And no slight to Sam at all. It was purely Claire's been playing well also, and just how we're going to change up a lineup and how we're going to come out maybe a little bit different. Where we need to move Sam if with Hallie being out, we knew that maybe Jaleesa would have to move back. So holding Sam off to play the 6 role, those are things that we kind of look at. So I thought both of them handled their roles well today and gave us a good game.
Do you have a timetable for Hallie or not really?
Yeah, she'll be back soon. It was just, it wasn't going to be for this weekend. We knew that. So this rest she's getting and some recovery and healing time, she should be back for the upcoming weekend.
Shelley, this isn't Abby won't normally be somebody we talk a whole lot about. She's probably not going to score a ton of goals for us or anything, but she came in and played 32 minutes today. I think that's the most she's ever played, and she looked good today. Talk about her and her performance today.
Yeah, she did a great job, and we've kind of put her out wide just to add depth to that position, especially when we had to move Sutton in the middle. That takes away an option, and she came in and did a great job. She's been growing as a player since she got here, and this season she's come in much more prepared and ready to play, and that's we're glad to reward her with time on the field, and she's doing a good job. And the more time she can give us will be a big help. She's a quality player and passes the ball very well, reads the game well, wins her tackles. Some things that are key in what we need out of our defenders, and she did a good job to come in and give us important minutes today.
Shelley, what was going through your mind when the ref blew the whistle and then awarded the PK, and then that kind of your relief when it sailed over the bar?
Well, obviously disappointed that we gave up a penalty. I mean, it wasn't the best in defending in the moment. But yes, obviously always relieved when it doesn't go in. It's tough. It's tough luck. It happens. We've been on the other end of that, and it's a tough situation for the shooter. But glad that we got lucky on that situation.
Joe, you mentioned it a couple of times, but obviously this upcoming week's tough, being both at Vandy first and then at Arkansas. What do you guys need to do to get 6 points out of this upcoming week?
Well, we've got to come out better than we did today. So right from the start, we've got to be sharper. Excuse me. When they're passing, our possession has to be better. I think. And we just have to play well. I mean, you're talking about 2 top teams in the league, and they're at home, and we know we've got to come in and bring our best game. So we'll be working hard to improve on what we saw here today, take the positives that we saw as well, and build on those. And glad to get some players with different. More game experience, so we'd be that much more prepared when we go on the road next weekend.
Anything else for Coach? If not, then Shelley, I think we're all good. Is there anything you want to say?
Good. Thank you, guys.